Lindegren. I work as head of culture department in the city of Umeå. How many of you knows where Umeå is in Sweden? Quite a lot. Is that because you went to the last exhibition? You just did know, good. For you who don't know, I'm going to show you. If I am Sweden, and this is the Baltic Sea, at the heart you got the city of Umeå. That's why we have this beautiful logo, which is a U, a heart, and a smile. So, as Trevor mentioned, we are in a completely different position from what Stavanger is. We are bidding the first step to become European Capital of Culture. We are shortlisted, and now we have to focus and be more precise. And I will use 20 minutes to talk to you about how we have been working and how our bid has been constructed. First, a little history lesson. This is a description from Carl von Linné when he visited Umeå and the northern region 1732. A divine could never describe a place of future punishment more horrible than this country, nor could the sticks of the poets exceed it. So this is the picture of the northern region. The northern region of Sweden, the northern region of Europe. It was a swamp area that he did visit, and you have to believe that he was right, he was true, because being at those places, because they do exist, is a bit tricky. He was standing there, and the wind was pushing his back, and he was lighting a fire because it was cold, so he was pushed and tripped forward, get burnt from the flames, and on the sides there were millions of mosquitoes attacking him. And that is a picture, it's a mental map of the northern region, out in nowhere. We have described Umeå many times, and people say, where is that? Where is the northern region? What is it? So, talking about being at the right time, at the right place, at the right spot, we believe that it's time for the northern region in a European dimension. And it's a miracle that from this description about being close to the kingdom of death, delivering young artists coming in from all over the region, becoming big and famous, and go out in Europe to grow and to get impact. It's because of curiosity and passion. Passion for the region and curiosity for a larger dimension. Our bid is about co-creation. Curiosity and passion, the art of co-creation. Because often you can say that we want everyone to participate. We want everyone to be in this. And as soon as you say it, you know that you're lying, because everyone won't be in it. Everyone won't feel invited. Everyone even don't like it. But we wanted really to see how many can we get involved. So we had to identify how do you connect everybody and how do you make people feel connected. So when we started to see what we had done, we found out that we were working with the open source concept. And those of you who knows about open source in software development knows that on one hand we got a program that is open for everyone to develop and share, and on the other hand, Microsoft, we have a closed code that only is open for persons who are invited. So we felt that the cultural life in Umeå and at all have many closed codes for people to use. And the source code could be used in a computer, but it can also be used in regular life in the cultural aspect. It's about co-creation and empowerment. By letting people the permission to use the code, you can see this. 9 out of 10 would dare to kick a football if you came into this room. But I guess that only 1 out of 10 would touch and pick up violin and try to see how it sounds and just try like that. Because the source code, the code to the football is open for everyone to use, to develop, to share. No one will sue you if you do the same thing as I did, because I learn from you and I develop. But the violin, the code to that belongs to the person who can play it. And that is the trick. We had to see where are the codes in our society that makes people not co-creative and not feeling invited. So we wanted to see a special group of persons in our city, young students, boys at vocational programs, did not go to our beautiful opera house in Umeå. They didn't feel invited. So we went there and we had this beautiful opportunity. We wanted them to write an opera. And they say no. We walked home and went to the design school and talked about this idea and the problem we met, and they said, you have to find the interface, you have to find the code that they can use. So we created a weblog, a blog that they can create and write whatever they liked. And the log was on the frame on the computer, it was just on the side, on the chat side, so they can write whenever they wanted. And 6,000 words appeared about everything, about going on a snowmobile, about thinking about your girlfriend or thinking about the party next week. And a librettist took these words and built the opera from their words. He added 4 words, actually, to make a complete opera. We took it on stage, professional lineup, one of the best directors in Sweden, the Philharmonic Orchestra, and we invited the students to come to see their own opera, because they had been given the source code to the opera, which in this case was the libretto. And what happened? After that, they returned. They returned to the opera to see Mozart, to see Puccini, or whatever, because they felt invited once, and this was their place. Open source is more than that. It's this gadget actually gave us the United Nations Public Service Award last year. It's a tool for, if you can't see, you can still search for your speaking books, because this gadget will tell you which book it is. So you don't have to ask someone. You can go to the code directly. Speaking about co-creation, we just finished a program in Rome with students in Rome and students in Umeå, a food project. That was so bizarre, I won't go into it in detail, but it was building up an interface between Umeå and Rome, sending recipes, wishes, dreams, all coming up to a performance. The recipes became food and a book and a performance and songs between students and the Academy of Dance in Rome and the Academy of Music in Umeå. So interesting that the royal family of Sweden said that we had to see this. So we had to put the opening night 1 month earlier because they wanted to see this in Rome. And it was so successful. And then afterwards we had this meeting with the royal family. And funny that the Queen said, if you get this title, don't put every performance during the summer because of the mosquitoes. Linné was there again, I think. In the northern regions, we have mosquitoes. The work has been like this. 2006, we started the bidding process. And until now, or 2008, since we were shortlisted, it has been a completely centralized system. We have been in the middle with the working group, connecting to others who have been putting in ideas, what we should focus on. And we focused on 8 themes, which we thought were our field that we can develop. But what we're doing now, we're moving this to be decentralized. We created 8 groups, 8 new project groups to develop each theme. And this meant that the project group immediately grew from a central core of maybe 20 persons. Now it's 250. And we have not that great control of what's happening in the satellites, but it's extremely creative, and they're sending in the ideas what to do to add in the program. Because you have to remember, we rely on the people in the city, because we believe that this is the citizens' project. And, of course, the region's spin-off. So our cultural capitals in the region and in the city are developing the ideas for what we should develop. But the aim, of course, is to be distributed. 2014, we will create this network. Umeå is a small city, 110,000 persons living there. In the region, we're about 500,000. And it's a huge region. A region that is very excited about this bidding process, because it can really change the map and remap what we are. But we have to stick together. We have to create a tight network to create a critical mass. A critical mass is always depending on the amount of people. And if you're short on people in the city or in the region, you can create a network that gives you a critical mass.